What the f? Thank you all.
Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is a sequel to the classic film taking place 36 years after the original one, and it once again is directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, but we also have some newcomers in here like Jenna Ortega, Monica Bellucci, and Willem Dafoe. After an unexpected family tragedy, 3 generations of the Dietz family come back to the original house, and they all have their own personal issues that they have to kind of work through, so they call on the help of Beetlejuice to kind of put things right. I had such a fun time with this movie, I really did. Because Tim Burton movies have a special place in my heart, I actually made a video about why Edward Scissorhands is one of my favorite films of all time, so I'll put that in the description below. In recent years, Tim Burton has kind of felt like he's trying to stray away from his style that he's used to doing, that we're so used to seeing from him. Like in the new Dumbo movie that he made a movie called Big Eyes with Amy Adams. They just didn't really feel like Tim Burton movies, if you know what I mean. When he did the Wednesday Addams TV show, that was very much so like a return to form for him. And then that is even the case here with Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, and I loved it. Michael Keaton, like I said, is back as Beetlejuice, and he just brings the same amount of energy at 73 years old as he did from the original 1988 movie. And I think that just is insane to me, that he could just bring that same amount of energy. It felt like the same person. It felt like the same character. It didn't feel like he even aged a day. And that's the case here for a lot of the actors in here. Like Catherine O'Hara feels like she just stepped back into the role and plays it the exact same way that she did in 1988. She's got all these ideas going on, and she's so like pretentious, and it's just funny to see. Back to Michael Keaton though, I was worried that we weren't going to be able to see much of him in the movie, because that seemed to be the biggest criticism with Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, that he just wasn't in it enough, kind of like the original movie. But I found when I was watching it, I was like, he seemed like he was in it a lot, and I loved it. I mean, I felt like it had the perfect amount of him, so that was pretty good that I was put at ease there. And also, I heard that he was kind of restrained or tamed a little bit, and while I could understand that criticism, it felt like to me he was making a lot of innuendos and had a lot of fun playing this character again. Maybe it wasn't full-on Beetlejuice like honk honk.
Nice fucking model!
It's really cool to see him back. Winona Ryder is back as Lydia Dietz as well, and it feels like she hasn't aged a day at all either, so she just slips back into the role, and she actually brings some deeper layers here than I feel like she did in the original, which I thought was really cool and I did not expect from her. Going back to the world of Beetlejuice after all this time is like slipping on a cozy sweater that you haven't worn in a long time, and then you realize that it fits just the same as it used to, if that kind of makes any sense. I had mentioned the newcomers in the movie, so we got Jenna Ortega, Monica Bellucci, and then Willem Dafoe. They knock it out of the park, especially Willem Dafoe. He plays this kind of detective actor character, and you could just tell that he was chewing up the scenery, and he was a standout in the movie for sure. Justin Theroux is also in the movie, and he plays Lydia Dietz, like love interest, Rory. And you could tell he was having a good time with his character too, just an absolute just asshole. It's no surprise that Jenna Ortega was great. She always seems to be, and she is like a Tim Burton favorite, it feels like, because she's been in Wednesday and now this, and I'm sure something else pretty soon. Monica Bellucci has a pretty big role in it as well. She was also in the Wednesday TV show, and she plays a really great character here that I won't spoil. I really love that the film relies pretty much mostly on practical effects, but it blends together really well with the CGI they have in this movie. They even included some stop motion animation in here just to make it feel like the same world as the original, which I thought was really cool and a really nice touch. Danny Elfman's score is as iconic as it ever was, and he actually brings some new and interesting sounds that we weren't used to, just to make it feel different and stand alone from the original film. Visually, the film looks great too. It's got a lot of Dutch angle shots that I noticed, which I thought was a nice touch, and also makes it stand alone visually from the original film. This movie doesn't try to reinvent the wheel or try to do anything different, really. But let's be honest, if you're going to see this movie, you're not really expecting that from it. You just want to have fun and see Beetlejuice again and see everything that you know and love about the original. and they do it very well. You're not going to be disappointed. For all those mega fans of the original film, I will say you're not going to love it more. I'm certain of it. If you've seen it like 1,000 times, I'm sure that original film holds a special place in your heart, but that's not the case for me. I mean, I'm a big Beetlejuice fan, but I haven't seen it like a million times, so when I watch this movie, I feel like they're on the same tier. Obviously, you can never beat the original for anything, especially that far after the OGs have come out, but I mean, this is a solid film, and it's going to entertain you from start to finish. It's so fast paced, and you're going to have a fun time with it, I'm sure. I'm going to give this movie a 4 out of 5 stars. I'd highly recommend it, especially if you're a big fan of the original one. Go see it, go support it. You're going to have a fun time with your friends or family. And also, this movie really has a nice Halloween feel to it, so it just gets me so excited for October, and especially because in October I have some big videos coming, so stay tuned for that. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.